Hello, students. I welcome you back for the spring 2020 session for the MBA program here at Mount St. Mary College. This is an introductory video for MGT5080, which is Operations Management. And I'm going to use this video to give you the course introduction and tour so that you're able to find your way around the needed components of the course. So the first thing that we'll cover in this video is the E-Class organization. Most of you should be familiar, I hope, with E-Class organization. If you run into any troubles, just give me a call, or you can talk to the Mount St. Mary's College IT support hotline, which sometime during this video I will actually post that here on this page. I don't have it handy, but I'll take a break here and put it up here so you have the number for the IT support desk, which will be very helpful for you. That's something that will be coming up in the syllabus. So the things that we're covering is the E-Class organization. I'm going to go over there, go through the tabs. The McGraw-Hill Connect system that you need to register into and pay for. It's available in the bookstore. Along with the McGraw-Hill Connect system, you get the Hillier e-text for operations management. And then I'll go step by step through the syllabus to make sure that I cover all the points there that are important. So we'll head over to E-Class and I'll take you through the tabs there. Hopefully that will make it clearer how to use that site. I believe most of everybody here has probably gone through the orientation at some time and may be extremely familiar with E-Class. I set it up as tabs. So each of these tabs, the way that overall this is set up, you'll see some purplish type tabs up front that are general information you can go back to throughout the course. And I include the MSMC IT support number there for if you have any troubles with E-Class, accessing any of your records, et cetera, et cetera. They are extremely helpful. And I also have in here the McGraw-Hill support line. And both of these are in red with white letters, so you can find them pretty quickly when you need them. All right. Now that upper preamble type of tabs up here, I just have a separator here, this blue line or this blue tab here. Now we get into week by week and major assignment by major assignment. The way that the color codes kind of work here is purple is kind of the overall information you might need to go back to reference. Red, obviously, is if you have an emergency, or sometimes you might need to contact the IT support. I'm going to tell you why. Within this video, I'll let you know why you're going to need to contact them. All right, there's a reason for that. Blue separator here, and then for each module or week, as we advance in the weeks, I make each next week highlighted in green, as you see here for the first week. And these will turn green as we go along. That, I think, will help you, generally has helped other students be able to figure out what's the most recent tab they need to be looking at. The orange tabs here are generally quizzes, midterm type things, a final exam, final report, and you'll find that there'll be information there, not so much for the quiz and the midterm, but for final exam and final report, there's some support information. We'll go through there. Here's our, for syllabus, what you want to do is, I'm going to go back to the start here. So go back, we took a look at the welcome screen. If you look at syllabus here, you want to download this. This is the one that I had sent out by email for the spring. Okay, I'm going to open that up right now because I'm going to come back to that. We're going to come back and we're going to review that. Okay, I want that up on my screen. I want you to do the same thing. Make sure that you have it up. You use the one I sent by email, or you can come here to E-Class to pick it up. All right, so we picked up our syllabus. We'll go over that line by line. There's an about myself. Okay, so this is a picture of me when I was in China in 2012. This was just the years leading up to my coming over into the Mount's business school. I was running a business accelerator incubator in Orange County, New York, which led me to full-time be working with a Chinese contingent going back and forth between China, which was a wonderful business and cultural experience. I learned a lot. You can't see all of China in just the 4 trips I made there, but you can learn quite a few things, and you can make some good relationships along the way. All right, so that's a little bit about me. You can read a little bit further on down. The course materials here, we'll have some support materials. And this appears in a couple of places, but this could be your go-to spot for course support materials. As we come in here, I talk about the McGraw-Hill Connect system that you need to register into. And what I have here, this is very important. This link, if you go to this link, This will take you through the process of registering into Connect because we do a lot of work there. Well, our reading goes on in there, and our homeworks go on in there, and some quiz work and midterm and final type of work go on in there. And many of you might also be familiar with the McGraw-Hill system for the Connect, and there's an e-text that is part of that system. I'm going to show that through this video as well. All right. Now, there is an Excel course that's going to be required the first week, and I'll show you where you can access that. I might as well do that right now. The Mount subscribes to a service called Who Knew It. Now, it's changed its name. When we go there, it's going to show the new name. And this is a free online course. You can go there and take a lot of courses. There's all these online courses. It's like Udemy or Coursera. I think Coursera is like that. Maybe I have that mixed up. But I know Udemy is a site where you can go pay to take these courses. Some of these are cross-listed into Udemy, and you have to pay for them over there. If you download this file, this comes directly from the McGraw-Hill Connect system, and it pretty much just gives you the same information. You can get some help with clicking this URL here, but within this file, as you're going to see this reproduced, this is the URL to click to get over to our course. Okay, so if you click that, it'll take you into McGraw-Hill Connect to this course. It's been registered. Okay, that also appears right here. I have that listed. Okay, now also in our resources, I have for the Hillier book the chapter Excel files, and I have chapter PowerPoint files, and you should just basically load those onto your computer where however you have your course organized. You may need those for some of your assignments. So that's what falls under the course materials. Okay, although we're an online course, again, we're not online with a big O. We're like an online with a small o. You are all taking person-to-person courses along the way here. Some of these just happen to be taught online, and that's why I provide a Zoom link for us for any times that we may need it. We can meet on Tuesdays. I've set it up right now. Maybe by a class consensus, we might change the day of the week and the time of the week. But what I'm setting up here is Tuesday nights, I'll make myself available at 6:30 on Zoom for anybody that wants to come in, has questions, a review of anything, any clarifications at all, or talk about business. Okay, so this is the link that you'll use if and when you come in on a Tuesday night. It does help if you let me know ahead of time that you are going to be there. It also helps if you let me know if you have questions that I can make sure that I'm able to answer for you in a timely manner whenever we get together. And if nobody shows up, I'll hang on to about 6:45. And if nobody shows up, then I'll just leave Zoom. Okay, so that's the way that we'll use that. It's no pressure, but as you know, if you start feeling like you've got some questions, the best thing to do is email me. Let me know you're going to sit on Tuesday meeting. If it's more timely than that, then we'll arrange something else, as I have down here. I can do other Zoom appointments using this link. So we'll always use this link whenever we use Zoom in here in this class. Okay. All right. There's nothing on the red tabs. When I click on them, there is nothing in here. Oh, I guess there is. One time I did produce something in here. Let's see. Okay, they have some information here. That's the same number printed up here in the red, so you're okay. I guess at one time I put that in there. All right. So then we get on to week by week, module 1. They'll turn green as we get through the 8 weeks as we go through here. So I'll review what we need to do as far as assignments for the first week here. We'll go through that, but I'm going to return back over. Let's look at our checklist and see how we are doing here. Hopefully that was enough clarification. Most of you have been using eClass. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so now the other system that we're going to use, and I just mentioned to you that the URL that we saw in eClass, you're going to go there. You're able to get a 2-week, let's call it grace period, or free access until you actually pay for it. You can buy this in the bookstore. And so the idea there is everybody should be rolling on basically Monday of this week, the first week, be able to log in there. Now, it's really important you do that early so I can see you. Through the week, I'm going to be monitoring it, and I'm really looking to see that people have registered themselves into this very important system that we have here. So let's see. We'll go over here. Okay, that's our Zoom meeting URL right there. Okay, let's go into, this is going into McGraw-Hill Connect if you haven't used this before. Okay, so this is showing a student view, just for reference. This is my normal instructor, how I build a course view, and I can go into the student view. Now, one of the things about McGraw-Hill Connect that people get tripped up on, and I've learned this by stories people have brought me, is when you click on the menu over here, it is best to sit in the classes menu item when you're looking at this course, because it will show all of your assignments and you can read the dates. It's not that easy to read, but you can get through. You can read these dates. Now, what happens is once in a while this opens up, or maybe you accidentally click it. I don't know how this comes over to this, but they have a to-do list. The to-do list is sometimes deceiving because nothing started yet. It looks like midnight tonight, everything starts, you see? So that's why I tend to have students avoid using this to-do list. I've had students get burned before because they didn't see things that were supposedly they needed to get done. Sit on the classes menu item here, select the 5080. Okay, now it gives you, these I put into sequence, so it's one after another. Okay, so for the first week, when you come in here, there's a McGraw-Hill Connect orientation. If you haven't been through McGraw-Hill Connect and used it before, this teaches you about how the questions might appear and how you answer them. Like, it's technology. It's showing you how some of the questions that you might get and the formats that they have them. And they're kind of clever. I don't use many of the forms of questions I think that are even shown in here, but it is for score. Make sure you do it. Make sure you go through that orientation. Okay, so if we look at the dates here, due next Sunday would be January 30th, 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 and then it goes to the next week. So it's basically the orientation. And then if you look over to the right, okay, if you read down this part of the column here, it will tell you what the assignment is. This first one is considered a homework. But for every chapter thereafter, okay, you're going to do a Smart Book Learn Smart, SBLS. Okay, they can't make up their mind as to what to call it. It's very confusing here. But I think in our session, I believe they call it Smart Book. All right, and when that's interrogated reading. As you're reading the material, it asks you questions, and everybody generally scores perfect scores on these. Okay, so make sure you get those gimme points, I call them. Do all the work in the course. I've had people that downplayed this and then they lose a grade level. They lose a minor grade because they didn't bother to do the reading and the comprehension, interrogated comprehension. They kind of ask you questions as you go along. Then there are homeworks. Okay, then these are questions that I've pulled out of the chapters for you to complete. So this is Module 1 or Week 1, Chapter 1, homework questions about break even. Okay, so these are grouped according to January 30th, and then you see chapter 2 starts. Okay, the format for this is very straightforward, just about a chapter per week. Okay, and as we go along, I'll be inserting in eClass support videos for some of the material, because this is mainly quantitative, and you have to do that a certain way on an online course, okay? And usually it's supported by video, and as I mentioned, I also will make myself available on Tuesday nights, all right? Okay, if you want to review the next week's work or whatever it is. All right, so if you page down through here, you'll take note right now that you'll do chapter 1, 2, 3. There'll be a quiz. It's not showing up on here. 4, 5, and then it jumps to chapter 9. And then it jumps to chapter 10. Okay, so what does that give us? We have 1 through 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 8 weeks, and the first 7 weeks, each week, you're going to do a major topic like this. And we're going to end up on forecasting. Okay, so the topic of forecasting is going to be the final report. Okay, so the final report has to do with taking a real-life problem and throwing different forecasting techniques at it and trying to decide what the best forecasting technique is. Generally, you're looking for the lowest error. Okay, you're looking at forecasting for the lowest error. But you'll learn on the order of, there'll be about 10 models that you're going to have to run through in your final report. Okay, so there you go. That's pretty much all there is in the McGraw-Hill Connect. Let's go back to our home base over here, and okay, so I'll take a look through what the e-text looks like in case you haven't been into McGraw-Hill Connect before. So if I come here, I have the book teed up over here. Okay, now I get to the book my own way as an instructor. Let's see. For student version, what you do, study, introduction to management, read. Okay, so when you go into the Smart Book, Learn Smart over here as a student, that's the one that interrogates you. That's where you have to complete these assignments. I believe if you click this down here, it gives you the book. Just understand, I don't use this interface, so it's sort of what I've learned from students about how some of these things work. I believe if you click here, you just get the book, which I have teed up. Okay, so I've launched the book from it opens on a new tab in your browser, and here's the brief contents of it. Okay, so they actually, in the e-text, it's kind of interesting. They go through 13 chapters, just kind of taking a note or reference here. And then there's actually these other chapters that are available if you come over to Hilliard. Now, you might have specific topics I'm not going to cover in this course, or you want to push on something, which I highly recommend. You could go back another time, maybe when the course finishes, or maybe you have time while the course is going on, and you can take a look at some of these other things. This happens to students. I was a student once myself. You buy these books, and there's a lot of great information in there. But this is basically at the introductory level for operations management. So you have a management approach and management understanding to run programs and projects and such. So I've taken 1 through 5 here. We've skipped 6, 7, and 8, and then we take 9 and 10. That's what we're going to cover in this course. That's about it. You can go to the contents here. I can collapse the table of contents here. I can go to chapter 1 and expand it, and I can go into the introduction here. So here's the introduction to chapter 1. That's what it looks like. And you go from page to page. Let's see. Let me just close out my little lower banner here. Okay. So, some pages you have to scroll down. Sometimes some of the pages are just on the screen, and you need to go to the next page. You just use the forward and reverse arrows. So that's how that works. Not much more I'm going to comment about that. I don't think I need to get into that anymore. But let's go to the syllabus. Now, some of it will be redundant, but this is really your reference document for things that are going on in the class. Okay, so here's the syllabus. Some header information, how to contact me. I did put my business number in here. It forwards to my cell phone. I don't think you can leave a text there. I don't think that business number leaves. You can text to it. I don't think. Possibly. All right. My office hours, I kind of put in here as Tuesday, 6:30 to 9:30. I'll make myself available. Let's see what we've got here. Note about student participation. Fully online class. Just go through what the requirements are there. Active participation. I define some things. Generally, I think there shouldn't be too much question about that. It's pretty much a straightforward course. Required course material. Here you go. Again, redundant. I did not put the URL here. You have it on eClass. Okay. So in this document, it says on item 2 for 1 above. The 1 gives you the name of the book and the product to buy. And item 2 down here says, here's the link. But just go to eClass where we were and use the URL from there. Now, here these are required materials. This is very important. You have to listen to me carefully here. I would almost say that I would remove this. This at a certain time there was Office 2016 and went to 2019. But here's the issue: whether you have a Mac or you have a PC, contact the Mounts IT support group and have them walk through downloading the latest version of Microsoft Office 365. Some colleges don't get this for free. Okay, so you have free access to this. Make sure you take advantage of that. Now, listen to me careful. You have to download the program onto your computer. there's a case where students end up using the online version of it, the cloud version of it, and it doesn't have the features. You're going to get all tied up if you try to use the online version, because there's things in here that you just can't. The menus aren't as robust in the online version of it. Okay, so just make sure you contact them, even if you think you have the latest version. Just give them a quick call. They could do it remotely. They could patch into your computer if they needed to. Or I think the way it actually works is they give you a passcode and you put it in. They give you a URL you go to, you put it in, and it downloads it. All right. Okay. Along with that, all the file submissions in here will be Word, Excel, PowerPoint. They'll be all Microsoft products. Okay, specifically, no PDFs, no Google Docs. Okay, no, I don't Apple Sheets, I think they call it, or something like that. None of these other secondary products. I just highly don't recommend that you try to do something in Google Docs and bring it over to Microsoft Word. Word has much more robust formatting, although the reason I'd like to use Google Docs is more collaboration, but that's a whole other story. Google Docs, I think, is better at collaboration and such. All right, but listen to me on this: that don't download or upload, rather. Don't upload any of your work product as PDFs, Google Docs, anything else. They should be .do. Was it docx is for the Microsoft Word, XLSX is the Excel, and PowerPoint is whatever PowerPoint, PPTX probably is, So you only want to be submitting them. The reason is that if you submit something that's not in this format, I might not have time to get back to you before grading is really critical, like at the end of the course, to be able to get back to you to get the right file. And also, you can understand, don't want to run around and try to get people to get the right files and at the right time. It's sort of at my discretion how much I'm going to run around and try to correct a problem if you've uploaded the wrong file. Okay, so you will need a computing device that can handle all this. All right, and a minimum of laptop is recommended. And one note that I would put in here is the Google. What do they call it? The Google. The lower end tablets and things like that. Make sure that you have a viable product as far as a Windows 10 machine or an Apple machine. Okay. The other things have not worked. Students have tried to get through using like these secondary Google machines or something. I forget what they're called. And they just can't hack it. They just, first of all, don't run the Microsoft software very well or at all. All right. So make sure you have an adequate, it has to be sufficient to get through the course. All right. That's basic line. Everyone is expected to have basic intermediate Excel skills. We're going to work on that in here. Okay. I'll explain what that's about. You can take the Who Knew It course and get warmed back up again. All right. Yeah. So I mentioned that there's this free mini course here. That's Who Knew It. Okay. Now apply for a free Grammarly.com account. You'll put everything through this, especially your final report. But what you do is you go to Grammarly. I have an account there. I have a paid account there. Okay, so if I go to Grammarly, maybe it ran out. I just remembered. Maybe it's time for me to re-up. Okay, sign in. All right. Okay, I don't know. They have a new version or something. Done. Get out of here. Okay. So these are a lot of the files that I've actually sent through here to clean them up. Grammarly can be your best friend. If you've always had troubles kind of writing really well, not only will it repair your work, but it will teach you if you do it enough. I find that I've learned a few things from there. I don't agree with all it. You don't have to accept all the changes that it makes, but you'll want to create your own free account here. And as I said, I have a paid account. It's like $70 a year, I think. Yeah. All right. So just give you an idea that you're going to need that for the course. And you need a high-speed internet link. Okay. Now, at the bottom of this file, I have an appendix, and I show how you can go do an internet speed test. So if I were to go do that right now, I'm not at the college. If I come in here and I just type in speed test, sometimes this can turn up problems that you can fix. Okay. So for me right now, I'm running 20 megabits per second download, shy of that. All right. And then it will tell me what my upload speed is. and it's pretty symmetric right now. They're in the same ballpark. These are good speeds. If you get down to 7 and 5 and starting to go below that, you're gonna have troubles accessing things, especially with Zoom. All right. So I have that in some information in there, a little technology for our course. All right. Let's come back up here. All right. What to expect out of class. We have 8 one-week modules. Do go read through all this. Some of this is so redundant. Okay, now here is our roster. Okay, this is everybody in our course right now. Look at your class ID number. If you've had a class with me before, it's the same thing that we've always done. In all my courses, all the students, I just assign 2-digit ID numbers here. And what does this get used for? The only place you ever need this is when you name files that you're uploading. So when you upload a file, let's say you created it, the file name starts with your 2-digit ID number, then put your name in there, and then put in the name of the file. If it's a file you downloaded, just rename it by adding in your 2-digit ID number and your name before the existing file name. Okay, so that's the only place this ever gets used. Okay, now the other housekeeping item is when you send email in your subject line, please start your subject line with MGT5080 SP22 Spring 22, and then put the rest of your follow it with whatever your email is about. This helps me sort things really fast among all my other classes that I have. And sometimes people are in multiple classes at the same time, or they had me in other classes, and I need that to find the information from this course. Now, if you don't do that, it's at your own peril, because I might not find things. I might not see things. Might not find things. The other point there is make sure you're sending your emails to this email address for me. I have an administrative email that I might not see it. Students have known. I mean, I'm looking for communications at this listed email address, and they use my administrative one, and I don't see it. It gets mixed up in everything else. I'm not anticipating it over there. This happens especially if you work at the Mount. My other one might pop up for you, but just make sure you're using your email that is for being a student, which says my at the beginning of it, my.msmc. Make sure you're using that with me, and use my Google email address, what I just said. All right. So here's a topical outline. I put this in here because it's requested of faculty to put these things in here, but this is almost anecdotal in here. Go by the actual calendars in Connect. Okay, this is kind of helpful to think about it, but as I said, rely on the actual eClass and McGraw-Hill Connect timings in there. This I just put a representative schedule in here. Let's see, this is a representative schedule, and this is in the instructor's view, not a student view of it. Okay, so this could be important here. Okay, so this is how your grade's broken down. The grading criteria here, I use 1,000 and 1,000 points. Okay, so I think we have exactly 1,000 points in this class. All right, so there's a course orientation quiz, really simple. If you read the directions, it's like everybody gets 25 points. The Who Knew It is worth 50 points over here. And all the Learn Smarts in the course are worth 125. And all the homeworks are worth 175. You have a Quiz 1 at 75 points. And then there's this combined sort of midterm and Quiz 2. Let's just call it a Quiz 2. That's at 150. The final exam is 150. I should read 150 here. And the final report should actually I had a different scoring system at one point here. So your total points here are 250. Okay, I'm going to save this off, file, save as, and I'm going to make this version 1. You can come back, I'm going to post this when we're done, and you can come and pick this up. I made a couple, you can see through the video, a little minor adjustment that I made through here, a couple of them. Okay, so the grading rubrics will be provided. Basically, the rubrics really apply to the final report. That's about it. You can take a look through here. Absences, pretty much. uh, you have to be on time with your delivery, or points come off your assignments, and you have to be present and get your work on time is showing me that you're participating. And you don't really have much time in 8 weeks. I think you're all aware of that. You have to really stay ahead of the game here. Okay. And then there's a bunch of college policies. Go read through those. I won't go through them. They're kind of standard coming from the Mount. So we've gotten through this. We got through this syllabus. Let's go back to our checklist here. Pretty much, I've gotten through everything now that should get you rolling. Let's take a look. I have a summary. Now we're going to go back and look at details briefly. We're going to go back over here. I'm going to go to, not there. I need to go to E-class here. Okay, so now we're on Module 1. And let me reproduce this. I'm going to grab this. Control C. I'm going to come back over to our notes. I'll drop it in here. Okay, so for the first week, just to get going, make sure that you can understand what all the parts are. There's an introductory forum here to tell me about yourself. Okay, where's that? Come over here. There's forum 1, welcome and introduction. Okay, so make sure you just follow some of these things. You can write in there pretty much anything you want, but I am interested about career type things. But it does help for me to get to understand your personal situations and things like that. Not too much information, just enough to have a good relationship here in the course. Okay, so that's the forum. Register into the McGraw-Hill Connect using the URL that I gave you. Do it soon. I'm going to be monitoring it by Wednesday. If you're not in there, you're going to get an email from me. I'm going to say, where are you? I need to see you. Okay. There's a little course orientation quiz I mentioned. That's by Wednesday at midnight. And Who Knew It will be due Sunday. Read the file. Remember, go back to that tab. On week one, there's a tab for Who Knew It. Download the guidance file, and it shows you where to pick up Who Knew It. I'll show you right now. You go to the portal, go to resources, and it's now called the Learning Cloud. Okay, so click on Who Knew It. Okay, and then you can search Excel Basics. Let's just go, I'm going to type that in more correctly. Type in Excel Basics and just hit enter and let it come up. And the one that you want, I don't know what the upgrade was for 2021. It's the course is taught by this Daniel Fenella, PhD, but there is Excel Basics. I think it's this one that you want right here. Yeah, Basics. So this is the one that just says Basics 2019. The 2021, I don't know if my guidance file is accurate to that. Okay, so you click on this and view module. Okay, so I'm going to go to view module here. It should recognize, yes. Okay, so it recognizes I've been here before. Okay, so I went all the way through this course for you, and I created that guidance file that you'll download, and I go by module. So there's a section A, and right now all of mine are green. This is because I actually completed these modules. All right, so you're going to go through about 36 of the 50 modules here, but use my guidance sheet, my guidance document that you'll open up. It's a Word document. All right, and you're going to go through all of these. I don't consider it that hard. It's a reminder for most. It's new for some if you haven't had much Excel before. Okay, but it goes through these different sections, and you probably pretty much get to naming and adding sheets, referencing data in other sheets. And I don't think I pushed the charts. Yeah. Yep. So as you can see, these ones that are not green are not part of what I'm asking you to look at. Now, you could go ahead and do it most often at the MBA level. I think a lot of people just finish off this course. It's probably another maybe 45 minutes to do the ones. But, they might be interesting. It might be valuable to you for your job. Some of you already might be Excel experts. Just bear with it. Do it. Some of you might have done this in another one of my courses. Do it again. You should be able to rip right through it. And at the end of this, you're going to end up with an Excel file that while you follow the instructions on the screen, you're going to end up with an Excel file that you're going to submit. Okay, so we'll come back over to eClass. Oh, wrong place. Got to find it. It's 58. Okay, so back to eClass here. Let's see. And so on week 1, you are going to take the file that you finish with, and you're going to tuck it into submit your Excel file for Who Knew It right here. That's your submission point. Here are the instructions. Right below it are your Who Knew It instructions that I produced for you. Okay? So that'll get you going on for week 1. You'll do your Who Knew It, and then you'll have a little mini assignment in Connect. This orientation takes about 10 minutes. And then there's this learning. You read through the chapter, and it challenges your understanding, as well as you have to finish the Chapter 1 homework questions. There we go. All right, so that's your first week. That'll get us going, and I won't go any longer on this, but just wish you the best in the next 8 weeks in this course and in any other courses that you might be taking, and we'll be in touch. Thanks very much, and goodbye for now.